Any other experience that you have?
Yeah, a second experience happened, and that was a month ago. And that was after we had a training on UBT from our reproductive health coordinator called Miss Fatma. She came and trained us on UBT. A month later, we were in theater. Another lady came. She came with PV bleeding at term. At that point, a diagnosis of APH was made. As a quick scan done confirmed that it was placenta previa grade 4. So she was taken in for an emergency CS. We also had a challenge. She came with a HB of 2. But since the bleeding was continuous, we had blood, we decided to transfuse intra-op. We did the CS. The outcome was good. She delivered a live infant who scored well. After that, the mother was transfused to the recovery room for observation before being transferred to the postnatal ward. While the mother was being observed in the recovery room, we were in theater going on with our elective cases. 30 minutes later, the sister who was in the recovery alerted us and called us to review the mother. She was bleeding profusely. We found the mother soaked in blood. Her vital signs were altered and she was going into hypovolemic shock. Actually, she was saying, I'm very thirsty, I want water. And at that time, I told my colleagues, this mother is most likely going into shock. We confirmed our vital sign and the BP was very low. It was 80/50 and the pulse was 30. The pulse rate was raised. So at that point in time, all my colleagues who were surrounding me, they told me, Daktari, I think you have to cancel your elective list. The best thing is to take this mother in and do a hysterectomy. I told them no. We were just there. It was like 4 weeks ago. We had been trained on UBT. So I told them, just get me a condom. We got a condom in theater, did the uterine balloon tamponade. 15 minutes later, the bleeding stopped. Pap. No more bleeding. We got blood, we transfused. Patient was stable, transferred to the postnatal ward and successfully discharged home.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nurr. You said that the first case you had, you were just given a brief information about insertion of UBT, is that right?
Exactly.
And you courageously used the kit successfully.
Yes.
At the time you were using this, what really compelled you to use it, and you had never gone through the training formally?
I'd say for me as a health clinician, it was a panic attack, and it was a point I wanted to do something to stop the bleeding, because I saw this is a life we were losing. This is a mother we were losing. Despite having done everything, the mother continued bleeding. We didn't have blood, though I had planned to go in for a hysterectomy, and at this point the patient was in theater, there was no blood. So at this point in time, I told myself, what else can I do? Because I can't say, let's wait for blood to come from Nairobi, which will take several hours. And we know once PPH sets in, if within a time limit of 2 hours there is nothing done, you are losing the patient. And from the patient's condition, we were actually losing the patient because blood kept on pouring and pouring and pouring. So I told myself, it was mentioned, maybe that pressure can help. So let me try and insert that balloon as we wait to get the blood to do the hysterectomy. Actually, even myself, I was surprised, and it was really a miracle, because for me at that point in time, let me try to pack. So I thought, instead of packing with gauze, let me pack with that balloon. See if that pressure will help. Then by the time we get the blood, maybe we'll be able to go in for a hysterectomy. But so after the UBT, the bleeding stopped completely.
How did you know the procedure? How to do it?
I was consulting on phone when I was in theater.
Okay.
I was consulting. I told him, I consulted a colleague, a fellow medical officer, who, while we were talking, he told me he had done the procedure also under our consultant supervision. So I called him quickly. I told him, Dr. Ahmed, our consultant had mentioned uterine balloon tamponade, and I remember you told me you you did it. And you know, it's funny that as a health clinician, when he told me that he had done it, I was not interested. I even never asked the procedure until I was faced with a real life scenario, and I knew that I was going to lose this mother. So I quickly called my colleague. He gave me the instruction. I did it in theater and the patient stopped bleeding. Now came the next time, I was more calm, more relaxed, called to review the patient. Even as my colleagues who were surrounding, they were very worried, telling me, no, maybe you'll have to go in for hysterectomy. I told them, no, we can do the balloon tamponade, which we were taught 4 weeks ago. And then after that, maybe if the bleeding doesn't stop, that's when we can consider the hysterectomy.
Thank you so much.